you've talked a lot on different podcasts about the glass ceiling that Israeli athletes have had in the past, and maybe you guys have broken through that in many ways. Tell us the importance of setting big goals in life, not just in judo, but tell us why it's so important to set big goals for yourself.
First of all, I think it's much better in Israel, but only in different kind of sports. You can still see it in football, for example, in soccer. I mean, we are very bad at soccer. We never qualified even to European Championship, and 24 nations are qualifying to the 24 out of 52. So we are very bad at football, even though it's the most popular sport in Israel for sure. Uh, there is a very nice quote that I always like to quote when I'm talking about the subject of Michelangelo, the artist. The quote goes like this: "The problem of most people is not that they're aiming too high and they're falling short. The problem of most people is that they're aiming too low and they're achieving their marks." I think it's a very special quote. And I don't think that everybody needs to be a champion, but I think that everybody needs to try to fulfill their potential. And I think that in Israeli sport, we have a very low glass ceiling. I'm always telling about a story. I don't know if you know this story. When I was 20 years old, I wanted to compete in the World Championship in Paris. I don't know if you compete 1997.
No.
Okay. So, and I was European champion till the age of 21. I did the qualification to Atlanta when I was 19 years old. They didn't send me, but it's a different story. And the chairman of the federation told me, "Come on, Arik, you're still young. Let's win one more time the European Championship till the age of 21. Next year, you will compete in senior." I told him, "Listen, I believe I can be number 7 in the world. I want to be a member of the Olympic Committee. I need the money." I
Yeah.
drove him crazy. He told me, "Okay, go to the World Championship." In the World Championship, I won my first match against a strong Georgian guy. In the second round, I beat Sergey from Russia with an Olympic medal, vice world champion. In the quarterfinal, I lost to a guy from Germany. I went down to the consolation house. I won 2 more matches and I got into the first 7 places in the world. Actually, I promised myself the 7th place in the world. There is a break of 2 or 3 hours before the fights for the bronze. I went to the hotel. I called my friend. I told him, "Guy, I'm number 7 in the world. I entered into the Olympic Committee. I will get now 3,000 shekel a month." He told me, "What? The competition is over?" I told him, "No, it's still going on, but I'm already 7th place in the world." I was so happy. I went down. It's a true story. I went down to the hotel lobby. I saw all the coaches and head of federation drinking wine, celebrating the fact that a 20-year-old is already a member of the Olympic Committee. I was sitting next to them, enjoying the compliments, and the competition starts in an hour. The break was over, and I got into the arena, and I had a match against Ivan Radu from Romania. I lost after a boring match. I was a little bit upset. It's not fun to lose, but pretty quickly I became very happy with myself. After all, I achieved my goal. In the evening, I went out, I drank, I felt on top of the world. The next morning, I came to watch the rest of the competition, and suddenly I saw 2 friends of mine, one from Russia and one from Moldova, Bivol, if you remember him.
Yeah. Victor
Both
Beal.
of them are 20 years old, same age as mine. There wasn't such a good athlete at that time. Nobody was the European champion till the age of 21. And I saw them fighting, winning a match after a match after a match. And I saw them winning the bronze medal, each one in his own category. Jafarov and Bivol, one is 66 and one is 73.
Yeah.
And I asked myself, how come they won a bronze medal? They are not such a good athlete. Nobody expected them to win a medal. They are only 20 years old. And while I'm finding excuses, I became angry at myself. How come me with my 7th place? I called back to Israel. I went out all night and they came without hesitating for a second to their bronze medal. And the thing that drove me crazy is that I looked in their eyes few seconds before the fight for the bronze, and I saw in their eyes that they're going to try to win the bronze. They're going for the bronze. How could it be? And I became angry at my fellow mate. Nobody from the Israeli delegation told me, "Come on, Arik, let's win one more time. Maybe you can win the bronze." Everybody was so happy with my 7th place. And to prove how wrong was my behavior, 2 weeks later, only 2 weeks later, I flew to a competition in Germany. And who did I meet in the first round? The same Ivan Radu from Romania who beat me in the World Championship
Right.
after I promised myself the 7th place. And I'm telling you, I killed him. After 1.5 minutes, I threw him like 3 times, which made me realize that if I wouldn't be so pleased with my 7th place, if I would have set myself a higher goal earlier to the competition, maybe I also could have won that bronze medal. I'm always telling that story because I want to show that how important is our working environments, our family and friends, the company we work in, because we're all trying to achieve goals that we'll consider as good one in our surrounding. When I aimed for the 7th place, I felt I'm doing something incredible. All my surroundings felt the same. They made me feel the